Hey, how are you? Welcome. My name is Manuel Manotas, and I am a clinical psychologist and a somatic experiencing practitioner. And today I want to take the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about anxiety. Oh my God, how hard it is, no? When we find ourselves caught up in that mind raising all kinds of thoughts, worried about the future, creating all kinds of problems, how everything's gonna go wrong. Or perhaps we can experience it as tightness in the chest and constriction and heart palpitations, hyperventilation, just this overall jitteriness and being really uncomfortable in our bodies. It can be very, very painful. Or sometimes it even goes the other way around. We feel lethargic and heavy and like we just can't move. And often what that is actually the it's still anxiety, but it's showing up as a hyper um, parasympathetic activation. So we feel like heavy, we cannot move. But underneath that is all the energy that we're just kind of clamping it down. So learning to work with it, it's not an easy thing. And I have to say myself, I've struggled with anxiety for many years. I was overwhelmed by all these things and like extreme amount of energy, and I didn't know what to do with it, and just my mind was racing continuously, and I would find myself often uh, really affected and not being able to function well in the world because I was experiencing so much fear, so much tightness, so much constriction, so much obsessive thinking. And I tried many types of therapies. I tried cognitive behavioral therapy, which was great at helping me deal with the thinking part of anxiety and understanding that I'm not my thoughts and that the thinking mind tends to go in these catastrophic ways and tends to project a lot into the future. I also tried psychodynamic therapy, and it was wonderful in helping me understand how my history and my past were a great influence in how I feel. So my early conditioning relationship with my parents and my family, as well as my culture, really shaped how I perceive the world. And having that understanding was great. It gave me some freedom. However, those things were still not getting at the crux. I was still feeling suffering and caught up in it. And it wasn't until I started playing with somatic type therapies and really going directly into the body sensations, meeting directly the experience of anxiety as it shows in the body, that things began to shift. And they began to shift in an interesting way. It's not that I got rid of anxiety. Because guess what? As long as I'm human, I'm going to experience anxiety. That is part of being human. But what happened is I was able to disidentify from it, and I was able to experience it directly without being enthralled by it. So I started to develop a capacity inside myself, a capacity to tolerate and be with and meet the experience that was happening as it was happening. And that was a game changer because then I wasn't afraid of feeling experience of anxiety. And I've been a therapist for about 10 years, and I've been working somatic therapies for about 5 years. So first I was doing the more traditional types of therapies, and then I started doing the more somatic, and I got training in somatic experiencing. And when I started working with my clients in this way, I also started to notice these shifts. Instead of going into their stories again and again and kind of like, yeah, we got some insight and some understanding, and we were able to work with thoughts somewhat and emotions and whatnot. It was helpful, but it wasn't until I started getting with them into their bodies and really working directly with their nervous systems that things began to shift in a significant way. And that was wonderful. And I see it. I see it. They come initially to my office and they're really constricted and afraid, and anxiety is ruling their lives. And after some time working together, I start noticing how, freedom starts to come in. They start becoming more comfortable in their own experience. They stop trying to avoid the anxiety symptoms. They start trying to avoid their emotions and their thoughts and their constrictions, and they just start to meet him directly with kindness, with openness. A lot of this work is about really bringing kindness to those parts of ourselves that we believe we cannot tolerate. And that's often based on the past. But when we start working with the body directly, with the nervous system, with resources, and start little by little meeting these places, things begin to open and freedom uh, begins to come forward. So anyway, I really love this work. I love helping people find freedom from their anxiety, understand what's going on inside their systems, and begin to have more range of experience, more range of action, and begin to be freer, begin to take more risks, and move forward with their lives. And I want to help you do the same. So I really invite you to reach out to me, click on the button below, and let's make an initial consultation if you want to work on your anxiety, and I will love to help you, and let's see if we can do some wonderful work together. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.